Hey, everybody coming in from Oracle Park. Won't be the last time this year. We will be back here in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whenever they name a manager, whenever that happens. I'll be back here for a press conference. Not a whole lot of answers today. It was the end of season press conference. Buster Posey and general manager Zach Manassian spoke to the media for about half an hour. Really, the main thing that came out of that was that Bruce Bochy will not be the next manager of the Giants. Boch was not let go. I mean, mutually parted ways with the Rangers on Monday. They offered him a chance to stay with that organization in some respect. And I think that's basically what Buster offered him as well. He said he spoke to him a couple days ago and just told him he's looking elsewhere for this manager search, but said he would love to have him be part of the Giants in some way. So we'll see if Poach wants to be a special advisor here in Texas, wants to go back into retirement, whatever he wants to do. I've heard from people who are close to him, he felt he maybe had one more run in him somewhere, one more year, but I think Buster's looking for someone long term, someone who can grow with him and Zach and the core of this roster. And he did tell Bruce Bochy it'll be somebody else. As far as who that will be, not a lot of answers, not a whole lot of clarity even on what he's looking for, what type of manager he's looking for, the age, the experience. Buster is keeping this all extremely close. We will try to get names out of here and put some things together. Obviously, that's our job the next few weeks to try to figure that out. But so far, not a whole lot. The one name I've heard early on here, somebody they have some interest in talking to, is Nick Hundley, a former Giant. Was Buster's backup for 2 years. He has worked for Major League Baseball since. He currently works for the Texas Rangers in their front office. I think he would be really interesting. He's a different personality, a much lighter personality than what they've had here the last 2 years. And maybe that would help in the second halves when they keep collapsing. But we'll see where that goes, and we'll see if any other familiar names get the call or whether it's somebody completely new from outside. I'll have a story up this week on some potential options on NBC Sports Bay Area.com, and we'll go over that on the next Giants talk as well. We have kind of gone over some names, but some more will be solidified, I think, over the next few days. As far as what else came out of here today, not a whole lot. I think, Buster and Zach, they obviously are looking for pitching. They have multiple rotation holes to fill. Really need to go beyond that. Landon Roop told me he feels great. He's going to have a normal offseason and feels good about next year. But still, this is a guy who missed a lot of time at the end of this season, had an elbow scare. So it was just a good reminder that you can never have too much pitching. And so even though they have a solid three locked in for next season in Webb, Ray, and Roop, I think they need at least two starters this offseason. And then you have the young depth guys behind them. And we saw this year, I mean, a lot of those guys might be relievers. They might be AAA pitchers. So a lot of pitching. That was really the main takeaway from today, is that is what they're going to try to get. Justin Verlander, pitcher, one potential option. He was asked about today. Giants hope to talk to him. I'm sure, will talk to him soon. One thing that stood out to me after Justin's last start, I asked him, did you pitch your way into a multi-year deal somewhere? And he said, I don't even think I want a multi-year deal. I think he wants to go year by year here. I believe his family lives in Florida, so we'll see if he wants to be on the West Coast again. We'll see if he wants to be here again. Probably a lot of disappointment about the way his season went here individually and the fact that they did very little to help him in his bid to reach 300 wins. But he pitched very well the last 2 months, and he'll get a nice deal somewhere. And on a one-year deal, I mean, he could potentially be a fit to come back. The other two guys who were asked about today, Wilmer Flores, Dominic Smith, two veterans. Zach Manassian said Giants are open to a reunion with Dom Smith. I still think that would be really, really hard to find the right fit there. They have Raffy Devers. They have Bryce Eldridge. That would be a third left-handed first base type. Dom can play some outfield. You have the DH spot. Just still, that's kind of clogging the roster a little bit. And the other part of this, and I think nobody ever mentions this when they say we want Dom back. Like, obviously, yeah, he had a really solid year. It was much better than I thought at first base. Popular in the clubhouse. He's like top of my list on this team, basically, and guys who you would want, like if you need to go get a runner home from third. So he was great. He was so good, I think he should go get a real opportunity elsewhere. I don't know that Dom would want to sign up. The upside here for him is to be a bench player and a late inning defensive replacement and a pinch hitter, and maybe hope somebody gets hurt. So I think he will find better opportunities elsewhere. Wilmer, we saw them say goodbye that final weekend, and I think that's the end of the line here as well. He feels that they all kind of know that. So uh, it'll be a fresh start for some of those guys. In terms of other guys, like most of the core here is locked in. So it's really about adding this offseason, not replacing. We'll get to all of that. I will get to that here. I'll get to that on Giants talk, right about it, obviously. And I think the main thing is just going to be pitching, pitching, pitching. One last thing from today, Bryce Eldridge did have surgery. The Giants announced had a bone chip removed from his left wrist. He did have issues with that going back to the spring. There was some discomfort there. And I think, Cole asked me on Giants talk, which will be out on Thursday, is it a red flag that he had surgery at 20? I actually think it's the complete opposite. Like this guy had a pretty good year when he wasn't 100% the entire time. Never mentioned it. Never mentioned it. Um, and and I think one thing we saw from him in September, even though overall numbers don't jump off the page, there were a lot of strikeouts. The exit velocity, the batted ball data was unbelievable. I mean, it's top of the charts. It is up there with Judge and Otani and these guys. So a very small sample, but he hit the crap out of ball for 2 weeks when he did make contact here, and did that apparently with a compromised wrist. So he'll be fine. 8 weeks recovery for him, and that takes him. He'll be good to go. Guys usually December, January start ramping up. He'll be done with his rehab by then, and be ready to go out to Arizona in January. I think that's his plan, and be ready for next season, and to fight for a job next spring. We'll see who his manager is. We'll find that out in a few weeks, but I'll be back here. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed. Thank you to everybody who has watched. There's a lot of other end of season stuff and some position recaps and some off season previews and things like that. And we'll have coaching news. And then, of course, we will have manager news at some point in the next month. Hopefully, usually these things happen right around the end of the postseason. That's usually how it works. So we'll see how that goes. And I'll be back here for that.